cmpradio.net. It's the station.
So, welcome to this week's episode. We hope that you all got your beverages and are ready to tune in to this week's episode. Share the link to some of your friends, family, whoever you think could find the topic of women's suffrage and things like that interesting. Natalie had a little bit of something that you want to talk about.
But good evening, everyone. I'm glad you guys are here to join us here on CMP Radio. So we're going to continue our conversation from our last live. So Rosie?
Yes. If you did catch our last live, towards the very end, we were talking about just trying to balance the workplace, trying to balance home. And so we dabbled a little bit into women's history, and I was just like, this topic, it needs its own whole entire session. So we are revisiting it. This is part 2. We're going to be talking about Women's History Month. What does it mean? How did it even start? Who are the founders? What does it mean today to be fighting for women's rights? And what I like so much about this radio station and what they're doing here at CMP Radio is that they're giving us a voice. We have been recording since last year. We started to go live in January. And we started going live in January. And so through this podcast, we have a voice. Sometimes you can feel so unseen, so unheard, and it's just important. It's important to have a voice in politics. So the women's movement, the suffrage movement, it started in the 1800s because women, once upon a time, believe it or not, we did not have the right to vote.
So before we go into the historical part of women's suffrage, we were talking the other night. And I forgot who asked the question, but the question was, as women, right? Do we still have relations with our significant other even when we don't feel like it?
I remember we did want to discuss this.
Yeah. So just to start the conversation and to shed light on our contribution in the family to our husbands and the sacrifices we do make. But so
yeah, I
how
think
do we feel about that? Do we, like, if when we don't feel like having sex with our husband, do we still give in because, you know, he has his needs? Or like, is that okay? Is that wrong? How do you guys feel about that?
I think that is a really good place to start because historically, as women, we were always placed as or beholden to our husbands. They took care of our finances. We couldn't manage our own accounts because it's not like we didn't have the wherewithal. It was just that society, it was unacceptable. So I think that's a perfect question because even in the 21st century, there are still things that society looks at a woman and say, well, you are responsible for, or your husband has the power to. So I think that still this question that will roll right into the woman history, woman suffrage movement, but starting with today and if being a wife.
And also, if you're out there watching, we would like to know your input too. Is it okay for women to give in sexually to your husband even if you don't feel like it?
Okay.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Kristen. Go ahead. Do your thing. Let us know. How you think about that?
So, I think I kind of feel two ways because my faith part of me and would say that and the scriptures talk about it, you should not withhold from your spouse, husband from the wife from the husband. You should not withhold because when you do, it can lead to openings for others to enter into your relationship because the other person may feel as though, you know what, my wife has not bent it over for me for 6 months and they're getting sexually frustrated. So they're like, and they get weak, right? Same thing with the woman. Oh, he hasn't given me anything for X amount of months. I'm getting weak. And you don't want your significant other to get to that point where they feel weak enough or tempted to go somewhere else because they're being denied. And I don't think sex should ever be used as a weapon. It isn't. It's intimate. It's supposed to happen. It should be done regularly. However, I'm not saying either that when you're upset or he does something or you feel not emotionally there to say, all right, whatever, just get on top of me. You know, like nobody wants that either. You're not emotionally into it. You shouldn't have to just, let that person just do whatever they want to you. Men or female. That's not okay either. But I think to preserve the marriage, when there comes a time where you're like, all right, there's tension and intimacy is lacking, you need to sit down and have a conversation because you don't want your significant other to get into a weak point. So the mature thing is to do, sit down, talk, try to come to a resolution, resolve the problem so that intimacy could come back. But maybe if you can't resolve it all the way, maybe you have a conversation like, hey, babe, I'm a little horny and I haven't gotten any. I know we're not really on the same page, but I really need you tonight because I don't want to fall short. I don't want to get, and I'm fiending for it, baby. And I think those are the conversations.
When have women been responsible for a man to control his urges? Like, when did that come out of responsibility?
I mean, it can be looked at the other way around too.
Yeah. Elaborate.
A man could say, when has it become my responsibility to like manage my wife's urge? I mean, I think that's our responsibility as partners. So maybe I'm not understanding your question. I feel like when you take a vow, when you walk down that aisle,
I'm being a devil's advocate just to let y'all know. I didn't take my stance yet. I'm just saying because you quoted a Bible verse like what did you say again about?
Can I read that Bible verse?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there are people who may not know why this is such a big deal. Thinking about this country, and I know they say separation of church and state, but some of the founding fathers definitely drafted up some of the amendments to the Constitution with scripture in mind. And when they decided on, women not having the right to vote or have custody of her children in case of a divorce, this is the verse. This is just one of many, and I'm going to read it for you real quick. You can find it in 1 Corinthians 7, and it says, I'll read it really quick because we're not in church tonight. Real quick. Where should I start from the beginning? Now concerning the matters about which you wrote, it is good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman, but because of temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but his wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control.
Right?
This is the Bible
So
verse.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was saying all of that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
It can be interpreted in so many ways, and we're going to talk about the many interpretations and ways to take that verse and how it can become abusive or helpful, depending on how you know.
So, okay, I have another question, but I want to hear everyone else's take on. Is it okay to
I
give
got
in,
something
even
to
if we
say.
don't feel like it?
I'm sure this is something that I hear some men say. Sometimes when you don't have the motivation to do something, you need the
Encouragement.
and the.
Foreplay.
Okay, sometimes when you don't have the motivation to do something, you
Set the
need
mood.
the discipline.
Discipline?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you don't have the all of that, but when you don't have the motivation to do something, you can't rely on your feelings.
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
have to
true.
Rely
Right.
on discipline.
Yes.
Discipline to a commitment that you made. So
yes.
some of the things that men say is they have to get up early. They have to go to work. You don't feel like it, but you do it because you have a family that you need to take care of. Especially if you're in a long-term relationships, you're not always going to be feeling so loving, so happy. So it's less about a feeling and motivation and more about your commitment. So that is why you'll hear things like, yeah, of course you're going to be intimate when you don't feel like it. Find a way to feel like it. Because we have to do things that we don't feel like all the time. So that's some of the things that I hear. Even if you just have to lay there.
Starfish
that's-
or dead fish,
Whoa, whoa,
starfish.
whoa. Yeah.
Okay. So also when you're answering the question, think about, so yeah, we have a commitment, right? We have a commitment to our relationship. And I wholeheartedly believe like love is a choice. Yes, it can be a feeling, but sometimes you feel like it and it is a choice. And like you said, it's a commitment and the discipline. But when is it not okay? You know, so when you're answering that question, think about when is it not okay to just forget yourself and, and give in to the need. So, Dominique, how do you feel about it? All right, so you want me to, so
When does it become abusive? When
I
could
I'm like
it-
having a visceral reaction right now.
So
Okay,
you
let's
can
take
take
a
your
minute
time.
then. No, let's come back. Let's revisit. Give her a minute.
So for me,
Yeah.
for me, I think it's our duty, not as a woman, but as his wife.
No matter what.
I'm not. Wait. Pause.
You said it
I
was-
didn't say no matter what.
You said it's our duty, but didn't say anything else.
I didn't finish. I just said 2 words.
My fault. Like I said, I'm like triggered. I'm triggered right now.
Well, you don't have to answer this if you don't.
No, I
talk about
I,
it. Well, let Natalie finish, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
cool, cool.
You
It's
want
alright,
to
it's alright.
talk about
Cool,
it.
cool, cool.
If this is a community
You
that
know,
cares.
rooted
So
in the
we on good terms. I'm talking about when you don't feel like it because you might be tired or you're not in the mood, but in the grand scheme of things, you guys are cool. Like everything is copacetic. Like you don't feel abused, you don't feel neglected or nothing. You got off work, you just tired. And he's like, baby, like I need it. So at that point, sometimes you do have to put your feelings aside, be like, all right, come on, let's go. Because he's confining you. And not only that, when you married, think about it. You're the only person he has.
Okay.
I'm not done.
All right.
I'm
so sorry.
You're the only person he has to perform these, sexual desires with. So, Dodo, I'm not saying in a bad, unhealthy relationship. I'm saying everything's okay. We're on good terms. I'm not being abused. Physically, mentally, verbally, everything is cool. I'm just not in the mood at the moment. But at the same time, sometimes though, your husband can see the tiredness in you and have some empathy. Like, my baby's tired. I'm gonna let her be. I'm gonna get it. I'm get in the morning. I'm gonna let you rest up. So that's where the empathy side comes into. And some guys, they can sense you're not in the mood, and that alone is a turn off. And they're like, all right, we gotta get you right before we continue. And that's the ultimate thing, for you guys to feed off each other, be there for each other. But you are distracted. I say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. No, you humming, huffing, puffing. Let's go.
I started going somewhere.
Oh, okay. You were reminiscing
A little bit.
all right. Okay.
No,
But
Tina was gonna say something.
no, you go ahead, Dodo.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Please, Tina, please.
It was a small comment, and it was, if you're tired, sometimes if you just allow the opportunity to happen, the energy comes. Oh, I say if you're tired, sometimes if you allow the opportunities to come, you might get energized. Like, oh, I'm tired, and then all of a sudden the pokes start happening. You're like, oh, okay, and then your body wakes up.
But sometimes you're not in the mood. They just gotta put you in the mood.
Okay. Now let me see what I'm gonna say.
Okay, say what you gotta say.
Personally,
Sorry.
I feel like life is right, quote unquote, so short. Life is too short, right? And we never know when we're gonna die, so life is really too short in a way. So I ain't got time to be tired. Let's get it in.
I know that's right.
Is that what you wanted to say? A little bit. That's the beginning of what I want to say. So I personally have never experienced
Being tired.
Being
too tired.
I might be low energy, like we're not gonna be doing all the rolling around, but like I'm ready. I'm always ready.
24/7.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, how old are you?
I can die tomorrow.
How old are you?
So I mean, that's where I'm at. But in the context of a healthy relationship and marriage, whatever. But I usually feel like, as a matter of fact, if this happens, I'm probably gonna sleep better tonight. So to me, it's always like a health factor for me. I think it's a healthy thing for your mind and body. You're tired. I think you should open up that door and begin intimacy with your partner. And I think all around your body will benefit from it. So to me, it's like I might be able to give 40% versus 70 or 80%, but it's a win-win to me. So it's a win-win either way. But back to like you're breathing hard now.
Let me say one thing. The starfish, deadfish, I don't know how you could start getting intimate and not get like
started around.
No, like not participate. I don't know how somebody could just
you gotta have that's yeah. Okay. That's probably people that had alcohol in their system.
That's different. That's under the influence.
That like you're stupid tired and I don't even know what's happening. Yeah.
It's just sex even be happening at that point.
I mean, if he's your husband,
yeah, that is true. If he's your husband, sure,
he has all right.
But
that's for the audience. How do y'all feel about that? Even if that's your husband, there's some people that still be like, no, that's kind of violation. But even though that's your husband and you might be intoxicated or whatever, and y'all just, you know what, it happens, y'all going at it, and you know.
You be intoxicated like unconscious or intoxicated like just out
like
of it?
Drunk. Or like,
but sometimes when you intoxicated, you're a little looser too, like more willing. You know? So it depends. But if you unconscious, that's a no-go.
Yeah, unconscious, that's a no-go.
I'm married, not married. Huh?
Even being married.
Yes, I'm unconscious. I'm no longer present. Like my.
So I have a question for you. What about if you're asleep?
That's different. You can wake up.
Starts.
You can wake up.
While you were asleep and you wake up, you're like, yeah.
So there is consent in marriage then.
I feel like there should be a general, but then in marriage, if there's if it's healthy and respectful, I feel like let's say if I was asleep and my husband wanted to start, then there's a general underlying understanding of yes, you have permission to have me.
Yeah, but if you say no or you don't want to, for whatever reason, he forced yourself. But most rape cases happen because with someone you know already. So can a husband rape the wife? So I think that's a yes. That because I'm your wife doesn't mean you're entitled to me
without my permission.
When I'm saying no.
I was so drunk before.
I agree.
And fell asleep mid-stroke. So you saying I was taken advantage of? I mean, if you were stroking, then you were a part of the initiation process.
Well, you was awake. First of all, I was so drunk before and fell asleep mid-stroke.
Was she drunk? If she was not drunk,
he said I was. So he's talking about himself.
If he's the one. Oh.
Yeah. So you already consented mid-stroke. It's your fault you fell asleep.
No.
Who's doing the stroking?
That actually matters.
He's stroking. He falls asleep while he's stroking.
No, he never says who's stroking. Is she stroking him?
I was
so drunk before I fell asleep mid-stroke.
So he fell asleep. He's the man stroking.
No, you didn't get taken advantage of.
No, you consented and you didn't fulfill.
I disagree. It depends on if she was drunk or not. If she was not drunk, then he was taking advantage of it.
But he initiated, was in the middle of it. He fell asleep.
We need more details. When you're under the influence of anything.
Andrew, we need more details.
But
I was very drunk.
They would both have to be under the influence.
The question is, what was
her state of
being? And what was your relationship status? Because if that was your wife, then it's like, does it fall under that basic understanding of we have general consent because we are married?
So
like there's context.
Andrew, I would say no, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You wasn't. You was not taking advantage of.
Can I ring the bell real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. I was like, Okay, I did want to say something because this is a very tough topic for me. Like, I might turn the chair around and do my finger rest because I feel like a little. Because taking it back to some of the serious points, and we'll get back to you, Andrew.
Okay.
I personally, and I'm. Should I?
Only if you want to.
Yeah.
I have done all the above in a sense that submitting and like, all right, it's not about me. My heart's not in it. And it's very dangerous to me. I feel like when your mental health, your emotional health, your state of mind, your overall well-being is not prioritized when in intimacy, you can develop resentment towards your partner and then eventually like a trauma bond. And it could take a lot of work, maybe even months and months to undo that negative
self-sacrificing,
negative interactions you're having with your partner. It's like a little red line intertwined and woven in your relationship because you've like offered yourself, sacrificed yourself, right? Eventually you get to the point where somebody might as well be paying to have sex with you because there's an absence, there's a missing link. And
you feel like it's an exchange?
Yes. Okay. And it could really alter how you view yourself as a person. I know I got to the point where I felt like, oh, I guess this is what women are made for, just to be used by men. And I am to, it is my duty, it is my duty to allow my body to be used this way, because I have a covenant with a man who very clearly doesn't prioritize my overall well-being. And so that was a massive contribution to a lot of healing and mental health issues. So I like you were saying, it is a different situation when there's an unhealthy relationship or abuse. If there is now, to kind of come out of the darkness, if we good, but I might be tired. I already explained to y'all.
You're not tired.
Wake up, cold water. Yeah, so
knocking your face.
Waking myself up.
Oh, okay.
I'm yes.
She will wake herself up for it.
Let's do it. So
right.
I don't relate when it comes to like I don't feel like it. I just to me, I always feel like my days are numbered. I don't know how many, but I just feel that.
So it's less of a duty, but more like a pleasure to a
Absolutely.
missed opportunity.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I
just feel like I'm blessed to be with this person, and we have but this one lifetime together, and we have to make the most of it.
I got you. Every opportunity that presents itself.
Yeah.
But
I know I'm human. But
for the older ones we're approaching. Well, I gotta say,
it's good for your health.
40 is a little different. Gives you a little extra energy in that department.
Does it?
In the 40s, yeah.
I'm
And
set for
apparently,
life.
in your 60s too. Apparently.
Yeah.
What's some of your view and take on this?
Can I say one more thing though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Say more.
Go ahead.
Please.
I will say this. One thing.
Take off the
Andrew,
time
it didn't
this
matter.
thing I
You was
will
not
say-
taking advantage of Andrew.
One thing that does frustrate me with myself.
I think he wants to be felt and heard.
yeah,
because
but
men don't get
but, I
heard
mean, okay,
when we hear take
bet.
advantage as like right.
do you feel like you were taken advantage of?
Yeah, that's the question.
So your
What do you feel like? What's
yeah.
your opinion of
What's
the
your
situation,
perspective?
Andrew?
Do you feel like you were taken advantage of?
Men and boys can be taken advantage
Oh, for sure.
absolutely.
by women.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. And manipulated.
I agree.
Manipulated. Sex is used as a manipulation tool. You don't know?
Well,
You don't think so? Well, you know what?
there's this documentary on Netflix called what's the name of it? It's about, please, if anyone has seen this, put the name, but it's about this woman who starts the oh my gosh, what's the name? It's the orgasmic meditation. Did we talk about this on another
The
podcast?
27
No.
types
I
of
read that
orgasms
somewhere. I read that.
or
That
something like that.
It's
I
a
read
woman.
that.
What is it called?
there's a name for that technique.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking
It's like
about?
because
I wanna know.
It's Om. Yeah, Om. Anyway, so what was my point I was trying to make? Forget it.
You said
It's
there
gone.
was this
But
documentary.
there's no
Yeah.
such thing as general
It's okay.
consent. So we have people on YouTube.
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah, but go ahead.
There's no such thing as general consent to me. If your mental health isn't right, you can't give will consent in my eyes. This is JJ Central 51. There's no such thing as general consent.
So if you
So
we were talking about
JJ
healthy
Central
marriages.
51. If you are, in Christina's example, if you are sleeping and the act is being performed and you wake up to it, is that a violation? JJ Central 21.
So it's about, so if that's a question towards me, I think it depends on the person. And I think for me and my husband, we have an understanding that it's okay. I like that. That's a thing for me. I'll wake up and I'll get into it. So it really depends. Like, clear communication when it comes to intimacy is best. What does your husband like? What do your wife not like?
Yes.
Don't not what you think women like, what you think men like.
Right.
Get to know your husband, wife, partner in a deep way, and ask questions and say, hey, if I wake up with a heart on and I really want to have sex with you, wife, do you mind if I slip it in and you wake up? And if she's like, oh, I'm cool with that, baby, then it's okay. But if she's like, no, honey, I'd rather just wake me up and start. Don't start without me waking. Then respect that and don't do that. Wake her up, kiss her awake and be like, honey, I know it's the middle of the night, but I'm really interested right now. And engage.
Now,
so
did you and your husband, anyone can answer this question, did you guys actually sit down and talk about the do's and don'ts, or what's comfortable, what's not comfortable? I should say do's and don'ts, but what are you not willing to do? What are you willing to do?
Not until it was too late, many years later, because it was just so uncomfortable having the conversation. But I wish we just had the conversation much sooner about expectations, needs.
I wonder how many
desires and where they are coming from.
Right. I wonder how many relationships go through that where they never even talked about. They just
we
go.
might not make it through this episode.
I need girls to talk more on that.
About deep desires and having the conversation earlier. Maybe that came from a place of like not having a voice. Not thinking that it really matters what you think or feel, or that a woman can have an orgasm, you know.
That
is a woman orgasm a priority?
Right.
And
there's a lot of women that have never experienced it and don't even think they can.
Yes,
wow.
I can relate to that to an extent. However,
these men out here not doing their job.
But you know where it comes from? That some of the verses in the Bible that have been misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Where,
I mean, there's still genital mutilization happening in other
countries.
Because a woman is not supposed to feel pleasure. So.
No, it's not
no,
that.
In some cultures.
It's not letting the desire for pleasure drive you to promiscuity is what it is. Yes. It's not like, hey, you're not allowed to feel pleasure, but it's the idea that a woman's desires and promiscuity is driven by the intensity of her clitoris. So we're going to remove that.
But it makes it seem like women are more prone to be promiscuous than men. When you know what I mean?
Well, as long as you're not waiting till you're married, you are.
Essentially. Are women
that's not
more than men?
So that's how they think.
I thought this was you were saying.
A lot of communities and societies are very patriarchal, and the men are making the rules. So therefore, men is number one, woman is second tier, less than, and we're gonna create these measures because we can do things, but.
Women cannot. Your husband is JJ Central.
Oh, I didn't know.
How did you? What was your initial?
JJ Central said there's no such thing as central consent. That was Jamar.
Okay.
No, you should have kept it anonymous. That would have been so interesting.
Yeah, and Andrew was saying setting boundaries is important early for sure, and these conversations should be had. No. It's not a gender specific. I agree with you 1,000%.
Gender specific.
Think about who can do it more.
Who's allowed to do it more with?
Who just can do it more? Women.
How?
What you mean?
You need a mind.
Oh, because we being pursued?
I'm a man. I know I can't do it 4 or 5 times.
Oh, we could keep going in the session. I didn't know what you meant.
So JP is saying,
Him hurt. You can go down the line. You can knock everybody off. A man can't do that.
Because you can't.
I mean, we do get
tired.
Raw.
We get tired.
We do get raw.
We get raw too.
Dry. Let's use better language.
Sorry, we do get
dry.
Exhausted.
I'm just gonna
then
say
it's no longer pleasurable.
I'm just gonna say y'all cannot use general statements on this because I know that.
No, they were dry. I don't know.
I often tap. I'm the one to
not
tap
you
out.
though.
I be like, I don't tap out.
You will?
Hell yeah, I'm tapping out.
Fatigue.
That's what I was saying. You can't say all men are a certain way because sometimes, us as women, we tap out too. We got to be like, all right, I can't. So it happens.
I need some
So
water.
we shouldn't generalize and say like women can outlast men. I don't think so.
What's the oldest profession in the world?
You know what?
That-
But that doesn't mean it's pleasurable. Is it a job?
We're not talking about pleasure.
Okay.
A job. And
Okay.
There aren't a lot of men that do it as opposed to women.
That's
Even right now.
where's
a
the
man-
facts?
That's
a
true.
person will tell you have $1 million between your legs. How you choose to use it is up to you. You can go after men with money. You can go after men without
I want to
money.
can people hear you. Can y'all hear what he's saying?
Yeah,
So
can
you
y'all-
know how we responded.
Yeah.
It's about time we
If
get
they're
you a
a
mic.
fake mic.
Yeah.
Don't need no mic in here.
You guys said something really important.
Yes.
Are women more prone to being promiscuous? Because we're talking about, don't forget, it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
I know,
Yes.
the dry subject on why we should vote.
Oh no,
But
that's
it
important. That's
kinda-
not dry. That's
okay,
important.
okay.
We change American history with the women's suffrage movement starting in the 1840s. It brought about so many things.
And it
So
took to the
it's not dry.
1920s for us to gain the right to vote. And even the right
Right.
to even today, women are still fighting for equal wages in the workplace.
But why
Yes.
was the vote taken? Like, why were we not able to vote from the beginning? It ties into
We're property.
women more prone to being promiscuous.
No,
believe it
we
or
were
not.
viewed as property, not as an equal part.
And not equal because there's something that happened in the beginning of time.
Because we ate the apple?
Bingo.
Come on now. Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. When we ate the apple,
started, Rosie.
when we ate the apple,
But that's what a lot of our forefathers believed. It's in the core of our nation. It's in there.
is in the core of
or used to be, and
So-
it's changing.
so-
but only within the last 100
so
years, which is not that long
you're
ago.
because as a man, you ate the apple from us, and you didn't say, maybe we shouldn't eat this apple as a leader.
we
but
seduced.
We
is what
we
a lot-
seduced you to eat the apple. But anyway, guess
So
what?
that leads
But guess
to
what?
our
When God,
promiscuity?
when God,
Yes.
when
Not
God
to be
asked
trusted
us,
to make decisions. We cannot lead because when we do lead, these are the decisions that we make.
oh wow.
So they say, I do not.
But guess
believe
what?
this,
Our
but-
job,
saying
our
that-
job as women. Okay, women. Our job is to nurture and feed and seek knowledge and bring things to our family.
That's our job or our nature.
Our nature. I shouldn't say my job. Innately, that's what we are. Most women, I'm not going to say all, most women who have the trait of being nurturers, our nurturing side of us, we go out and we find food and we bring it to our family.
Can we lead?
Yes, I think we can lead.
Should we lead?
Yes, I think we should lead.
There are women
in
presidents.
certain areas.
There are women presidents all around the world. The United States has yet to choose one. Why is that?
Bless you. Thank you. Excuse me.
Like you said, it's ingrained in our Constitution, is based off of Christianity from a man's lens. So I'm not going to say Christianity is saying for us to do that, but the way you perceive and interpret the Bible and you use it to benefit you, just like the slave masters use the Bible to justify enslaving people.
No.
So, but you know what? In the Bible, when God came to Adam, Eve made me do it. When God asked Eve, yeah, I did it, Lord, because I was seeking
but
knowledge.
we're not accountable.
Because I was seeking knowledge, I did it. We didn't blame. Oh well, did we? Did we blame the snake?
We blamed
The serpent.
Well, he said, but he
We
didn't
did.
say
We did.
the serpent that you created.
Or Adam
Maybe.
said, "Well, God, the
You.
woman you created."
Yes.
Blaming, always blaming somebody.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Taking account
What
of
did
Paulianity.
Yes, we can hear them. Oh, you can hear them, Malaysia.
Okay, good.
Oh,
So it's
God,
unfortunate,
yeah.
but that's where it stems from. And unfortunately, the women who started the suffrage movement, although they were white abolitionist women,
At first, they
At
they
first.
turned on us.
you know,
Well,
it was for them to
listen.
have a voice, and they
They turned
challenged.
on us, but they came back and supported us because
So,
they did elect the
just- it's
first
so
black
hard.
congressman.
So reviewing and listening to the documentary again and reading about it again, and to watch the transition from white abolitionist woman that was fighting and helping slaves from the South get up north and fighting against slavery, to moving to women should have the right to vote, to Frederick Douglass stepping in and start supporting that movement, to then looking at, what was it, the 14th Amendment, where black men were able to vote. And at that time, the women's suffrage movement and the black movement, we want the right to vote, they were joined, they were together. And then when the opportunity came and the amendment was then written, it was written and black men were like, oh, no, forget the women.
No, they didn't. That's not out. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's how you saying it.
That's how what I'm reading and interpreting it when I read it and I look at history, because I wasn't there at the time. That's kind of what I've seen. Women has been fighting since we're looking at the 1840s, and then Civil War happens, 1860s, slavery is abolished, and then we're looking at the right to vote. And women has been fighting all along, even while blacks were slaves. White women and black women. And then black men joined the fight. And then when it was time to put in the Constitution where women and black men and women could have a right to vote, it was black men who were given the right to vote. And then women in general were left behind. And that's when they got upset. And that's when racist, conservative, white women during that time started saying, oh,
they're uneducated and shouldn't have
why
the
should
right
a black
to vote.
man have more of a right to vote than me as an educated white woman? And that's when the divide happened. And that's when some of the white women that were abolitionists and leaders in that time, they said, you know what? If we're going to make movement, let's join forces. And then they began to say all that ignorant stuff and all that racist stuff so that they can move the ball forward for women. And then their children ended up saying, you know what? We're going to move in a different direction. And it became less racist and all this other stuff. Yeah. But
I mean, think about it, though.
Who said what first? I don't know.
But here's the thing. I get when the African-American men gained the right to vote, right? As a nation, I think we were just not ready to accept women yet. Even in today's time, we were ready to have our first black president, Barack Obama, but we're not ready yet to have a white or a black woman because Hillary Clinton ran.
What do you mean by that? You were saying that before. When you say we're not ready, could you elaborate a little bit?
Because she won the popular vote.
Yeah, but when I say our nation isn't ready, is the same. I'm relating it to how African American men got the right to vote. So men has the upper hand in our nation, in our society. So where we're willing to, okay, yeah, we could. He's a man. He's black. We can give him the right to vote first. We can make him the president first, black president first. But as women, I think our society is not ready for that yet. Because I know even when Kamala Harris was running against Donald Trump, a lot of men were like, "I'm not voting for a woman."
So gender comes before race. In this instance, comes before gender. Like we were talking about 2 weeks ago. What do you identify as in order? Yeah. And for America, gender comes before race.
Yeah. So I think as a society, we're just not ready to have a woman leader yet. No. Especially based, if you could just look at the timeline in history, what came first?
She did win the popular vote.
I think
that's all I gotta say.
It depends. Race comes before gender, and depending on what race. So what I mean by is the first people that had the right to vote in this country were white men that owned property. had the right to vote. So white men, top. And then it became black men. And then it became women.
White women.
Well, women.
Well, the 19th Amendment is all women.
Black women from voting.
They tried.
There was a
not
major
legally, but
not legally, but
policy wise or
yeah.
tactic wise, they try to keep black women from voting. But,
but
the amendment covered all women. The
They were
19th Amendment.
Yeah.
People
But
wanted black women voting the least.
Yes, but that's what I mean. I think it's because it's white men first, and that's race. And then when it came up to a black man versus a white woman, they were like, black man.
Man, yeah.
And then it was like, woman. So that's what I mean. Yeah. I don't think it's gender over race. I think it's the white man, which is a race. And then when it comes to black versus white women, they decide our country. But also,
it's both. It's race and gender. Because black men. I think race and gender first when it comes to you being a white man.
Yeah.
Because like you could be a white woman and you the bottom. I mean, not the bottom, but you
the
second
black
to
woman
the last.
is the bottom of the bottom. Although we are the strongest of the strongest.
We breastfeed everybody.
Yeah, we breastfeed. And guess what? Everybody come to us for comfort.
Yeah,
and everyone come to us for
the
comfort.
milk and the food.
I had somebody at work. So was it somebody at work? Was like, yo, black women give the best hug. Like we're the most comforting. Like, but anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But I do wanna acknowledge some comments from our watchers, our viewers. So Jamar, I can't see the comment above that, but Jamar was saying women are leaders. Deborah in Judges was very important in my opinion. The book of Judges, and then he said actually I think she was a judge in a time when Israel didn't have a king, And then Andrew replied to that, Esther. Oh, and I think Andrew was saying something about there's Paul interpretation of Christianity where woman is not allowed to lead in the church, but that's a Paul perspective. I think that's what he was trying to say versus what the Bible actually means. But I ain't listening to Paul. Jesus himself, you saw how he treated women.
Oh,
he had them. He treated with the utmost respect, regardless of their sins.
Absolutely. So women. So let's get this straight. Women, absolutely.
Forget Paul, Andrew.
We
Paul.
are leaders. We are absolutely leaders.
So I'm just in this.
God
in
has
this,
put women throughout the Bible in position of leadership. So if God is putting women in a position of leadership, then who are you? As
Hold on. So the thing is, because Esther, Andrew, was adjacent to a leadership position, bingo, Christ was fine with women. Yes. And Deborah was a judge. You know, we do see evidence of women being in a position of leadership. However, that doesn't necessarily change the fact that it was still a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
You know?
In Rome. But I think in other countries it wasn't.
No, I think across them being in leadership didn't make it now equal situation or matriarchal at the time. It was still very much a patriarch society. So,
True.
I mean, yeah, great. They were in leadership positions, but we're talking about those moments versus those moments against all of time.
Yeah.
You know, so
a common trend in history.
I think as people want to so kindly stand up for us
and be with us tonight, listen to 4 women's voices.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think you want to like root for us and say, well, but let's compare it to all of time. Yes. We appreciate it, but I think there has to be a change of longevity, not bursts and spurts of moments.
And especially what happened back 2 years ago in 2024.
Do anybody have insight on
Kamala lost a race?
Yeah, right. That's true. Does anyone have insight on Africa? Where at that time were they? What?
Most likely not, because I found out that even though Haiti is the first Black country to get its independence, women didn't get the right to vote until 30 years after American women. And I was surprised.
1920, 30 years later, 1950s.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about society, like different communities in Africa. We were kind of like influenced by
in those. But you saw how she said the whole situation with the man with Anthony and all of those situations. Why? I don't know.
I mean, that's one queen. That's one
That is
queen
true.
that
I mean,
that
there have
that
been
we
great queens in history.
yeah, that's one queen that they put in history
Queen
books.
of Sheba. Anyone in the crowd
Or
has a little
Cleopatra.
background information on powerful women in Africa.
During
Women
biblical
King.
times.
That was a whole movie from the tribe.
She wasn't a king,
No.
but she did have.
wasn't.
She was a
Woman
general.
King
Wasn't she a
movie?
general?
She was
Yeah,
a
that's
general.
from
That's
the.
a
It's,
fic-
not,
that's-
it's based off of a real tribe, which Haiti.
Yes,
Haitians
all
are
of that.
from.
But the initiation, I don't think that was fact. Based off
One
of
of-
what I read.
One of the women from the Sante tribe, am I saying that right? Went to the islands to train Toussaint Louverture
So they were
in
women strong.
guerrilla
I'm not-
warfare.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's not true. I think.
But was she a king? No, just like Esther, king adjacent.
Yeah. Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so if anybody knows any
Even that part. I think is
anything
not
else,
True. Her being a
please let us know.
I don't. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Okay.
But you know what I know? But in history, like in Ethiopia, a lot of times when women become the leaders is when men are away at war or if there's not enough men because of war, and that's when the women finally are seen as, oh, okay, yeah, she's valuable. Because when Ethiopia was in war, I might be so wrong, but I think they had a war with Italy, the Italians. There was a war there, and then a lot of the men died, and the women kind of took over the society. And even in the women's suffrage movement, we finally were seen when our men were at war, the wars, and we had to fill in their shoes in the factories. And that's when we were finally like, whoa, she's actually more productive than men, and we got paid her less. You know, that's when our value was seen when men wasn't present. They were away at war.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
So you're saying the absence of men highlights the presence of a woman.
in history, not in
Jail time, men.
realize how capable we are. We're not that delicate and seductive. We can get things done.
promiscuous.
I will say though, based off of what, and please tell me in the comments. I know Andrew will read your comments. Based off of what I've seen, any evidence of a woman-led society is still in that subculture or subtopic of just it being matriarchal and not, remember we were talking about that
so
earlier?
do you think it exists, but it's just not in our history books? Because men's ruling the world, they just leave that out.
Well, if you highlight all the women in the Bible, they say it's only about 10%.
Yeah, but Natalie, I think I agree with you because history is nothing but his story. It's the winner, it's the conqueror's story. It's not the story of the whole world history at that time. So there are definitely, I think, great women leaders throughout history that will never be spoken of, never be known, never be found. So you're right. I think, yeah.
I think they existed. It's not in our history books. It might be in that particular culture, history, but it's not in our colleges and universities. You know what I mean? So
let's say their names. Some important women that stood out to you as
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, for the suffrage movement, for the white abolitionist women that became angry, we have
Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
yes,
oh
And then
yeah,
there was
she was
also
big.
Susan Anthony. You have Sojourner Truth. So
Ida
you had
B.
some-
Wells,
Ida B. Yeah, you had some very strong
the
women.
first
that were fighting
female black woman in Congress.
Ooh,
Shirley.
Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm.
So yeah,
We have Christina Delva.
You fat.
A
know,
very
the woman
strong
that made the
voice
Haitian
and
flag.
advocate for women and men. Betsy Ross.
Kathleen Flawn.
Oh, the Haitian flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had like a big impact on the revolution. Read into
Harriet Tubman. I know that's everybody know about Harriet Tubman, but yeah, her.
Yeah.
But also one thing we haven't touched on yet, and there's something I want to say about America not being ready for a woman president. I got to comment on that.
Me too.
But I want to say that behind a lot of these presidents, there was a strong hella first lady.
Angela Davis.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Barack Obama.
Yeah, Michelle.
Who had strong ladies, first ladies behind
Angela
them,
Davis,
supporting
Andrew.
them, doing the work behind the scenes, reading policies, looking at amendments,
Yes.
pointing out flaws and saying, that guy right there might not be your friend across that Congress room.
Yep.
They were sitting up, so you had the floors and then you had the balcony up top. You had the women and wives watching and waiting. When we talk about some of the women's suffrage movement, when you talk about abolitionists, strong women that really shaped this country to what it is today, and it's not being spoke about enough. So
Right.
yeah, give us a month, but no, give us a year, give us a decade. I think there's
Not
so
even
much to be said.
Include us. Include us
Include
in the
us.
textbooks. Include our history across the board.
But so that will to touch on, I think United States is definitely ready for a female president. I think when Hillary ran, she won the popular vote. She didn't win the electoral college. But I think what happens is we have plenty of men that are voting, but they're not loud enough. Hit them streets. Actually be vocal, because when you're silent, you're complicit. So I think we have a strong base to get a female president in office. It's just we need more people, more men to be more vocal and hit the streets and cry and scream with us and say that it's needed. Because I always hear, oh yeah, we could use a female president in the back of the office real quietly and whisper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't have a problem with female
Who
president.
said that?
Oh, I voted for Kamala Harris. No, scream it. And I think that come out the shadows. And I think we could absolutely have one.
And it doesn't mean that you're losing your power.
Exactly.
And then when you are running, please, no twerking at the DNC. Please.
Are you talking about a specific person?
Well, back in 2024, I did vote for her, but I didn't appreciate that part. It was too much.
Did she really?
No, she wasn't. But Megan Thee Stallion was.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
sides were doing a lot at the convention 2 years ago.
Trying to turn out the vote.
What did Trump come out to?
Many men wish that
He
mommy.
was doing too much for the
Did he
vote.
really? Was he dancing?
I don't know who was dancing, but he definitely walked out after he got the attempt assassination. His very next rally, he
yeah.
walked out to 50 Cent's song. I was like, bro, no.
They were doing too much. And if they're doing all of that for the vote, that's how important the vote is. It's so important.
Yeah. And if it wasn't important, they wouldn't try so hard to keep us from voting.
Yes. Or try to now bring up, you have to bring your ID. Like voter suppression is back full force. I'm working in the polls, and people come from out of state to watch our polls now. And we still have people saying, oh, my vote doesn't matter. Everything's going to stay the same.
Isn't it Pennsylvania like a swing state?
Very important.
So that's
we
why-
are a purple state, y'all.
Yeah, so they coming for Philly.
See, now, weren't you explaining how like Delco and Chester specifically have a major impact on the swingness of PA?
Yes, absolutely. So with Pennsylvania, it's always swing. We could go Republican or we could go Democrat. So that's what makes Pennsylvania so crucial. We know that there are parts of Pennsylvania that are going to go red every single time. We know that's parts of Pennsylvania like Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. They're going to go blue every single time. So it takes very key counties that swings and can determine a state. That's why you see when President Trump was running, He came to Aston, Delco. So
Actually, every president
comes
to Pennsylvania.
comes to Delco,
Delco, that's
specifically.
true, because Barack Obama did, Trump did.
Yes, Delco kind of determines. Delaware County kind of determines the state of Pennsylvania, and because Chester is the seat of Delaware County, where Chester goes when we decide to turn out the vote, Delaware County goes. And then, because Delaware County is so important, we can swing the state in any direction that we want. That's the power of the vote of Chester City, and a lot of people don't know that. When we turn out, when Chester turns out, we determine Delco. When Delco turns out, we determine the state. That's why Obama was here twice, Trump was here, Biden was here. You're not running for office and not coming to Delco.
Yeah.
If you're Republican, you can hit Ridley, you can hit Aston. But if you're a Democrat, you're coming to Chester every time.
And Martin Luther King studied here.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Chester
And
has a
Poppy,
lot of
Chester's the
history.
seat.
and Poppy moved here from Brooklyn. He knew what he was doing.
And here we are.
Yes,
And
he
here
did.
we are.
With a voice rooted in real.
My beloved Chester.
All right, so Jamar, Kamala was qualified, but I don't think she was a strong enough candidate invisibly, to win in this last election. Oh, individually. Got it, Jamar. She was not a strong candidate individually. But I think it was kind of like, oh my God, Biden is like old. He was ill. He was getting ill. It was becoming very apparent.
And he held on to the race too long.
Yeah, they didn't have
should've
enough
dropped
time.
out the race way before we finding out that he's dropping.
Yeah,
like
he
that
was
wasn't
declining.
okay. He should have stepped back. He should have let Kamala Harris have way more time to run. And I think she would have done a lot better.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh my!" No, let me stop. I'm not gonna disrespect you.
Voter
But he wanted to
suppression is how white conservatives are trying to retain power while they lose population ground. Yeah. Our collective vote matters. Our individual vote don't mean squat. Agree.
So that brings me.
Hold on. I disagree, Andrew. I'm sorry. A lot of
If we
disagreements
come out
tonight.
in numbers, if one man vote for Kamala Harris, right? That's what you were just saying. He's agreeing with what you were just saying.
No.
We need
So
to all come out.
What I don't like is that statement, because individual, I get what you're trying to say, but I think it needs to be reworded differently. Every individual needs to take responsibility and go out and vote. So, because so many people think, oh, it's a collective. I'm just one person. I don't count when we use that type of language. You have to say every individual vote does count. It does matter. Everybody have to take responsibility. And when everybody take responsibility, it then becomes a collective. And then it becomes bigger and bigger in numbers. Just like when you look at a community, it starts with the nucleus. It starts with the family. It starts with the home. Then it starts with the neighborhood.
Right.
Then it goes to the block.
Right.
Then it goes to the city.
Okay.
Then it goes to the state.
Our next
Then it goes to
president. Our next president. Our next female black
It's
president.
about voting. It's about running. It's not just about voting. Run. Submit that.
Yeah.
I
Come
agree.
on, Christina
Yes.
Delva.
And if you're not
Phillips,
running, support
Christina
those
Phillips.
who are running.
Y'all better stop.
I gotta read something
Let's
off
go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Vote and run
Look,
and win.
we'll be out there knocking on doors.
Knocking on all the doors. I did it for Senator John King. I will do it for you.
You are so. Oh, speaking of voting, me and Rosie was talking about this. Women's suffrage. Women's suffrage. Great idea for the candidates this year. We have plenty of moms out there that want to knock on doors, but we have children. So if you want to use some of your campaign funds to do childcare on a Saturday, I guarantee you're going to have moms turn out to go knock on doors for you.
Because that's what the suffragists did.
That's what it is.
They
we have to take care of each other.
They did. They washed her clothes, Susan B. Anthony and what's her other name? Stanton. They washed her clothes. They helped around her because while you're going to, I guess it would have been Philly at the time.
You had to fight the fight.
We got your back here.
Right.
And their husbands had their back.
Right.
There was a woman. Oh my goodness, I'm not good with memory, but there was a woman when Rosa Parks, the bus boycott really kicked off, and everybody was doing the ride sharing. There's a woman who sold her hot meals.
Yes.
She sold her hot meals to help fund that pay for gas for the people that were doing ride share. And she also helped around with the money that she made. She didn't even pocket it really. And then she was on one side of the city, and on the other side, another group of women started doing the same thing. And that's what allowed the bus strike to kind of go for the duration that it did because of this
village.
But here's the thing. So you hear how you were saying collective, community, supporting each other. But so their goal is to do what? Pin us against each other, pin the black people and the white people against each other so that we cannot come together and support each other. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, every election, I don't know, every 4 years, the whole Black Lives Matter, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but they
weaponized it.
Yes. They made it a point. So you remember you black and you white, so y'all can't be talking. Y'all can't come together. So they divided us. And not only do they divide us black and white, then they divide us men and women. Mm-hmm. So that's a 4-way division. So nobody's supporting nobody. And here we are, not coming together and choosing what's best for everyone, not just your own personal feelings. Because your feelings don't really matter at the end of the day. It's what policies are going to be passed, what's going to affect us and our children to come and generations to come. Yeah. So for those men who was like, well, I ain't voting for women, I'm going to vote for Trump. Let me stop. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm not going down there.
Don't vote for your personal
preference. Yeah. And then you go ahead and vote for Trump and Trump don't like you.
Now I get what Andrew's saying. He said, if we vote how we want and not based on what we need together, we lose. So that's what he means. So you are right. Yes. Everybody take responsibility to vote. But let's talk about what we're voting for and go out in masses and vote for that issue. I agree with you, Andrew.
One issue at a time or many issues. Because sometimes when you have so many issues, it just kind of dilutes the cause.
So that's why we look at their platform. What do this candidate stand for? So, and we see who stands for us the most. Who will not. Certain parties, certain people, they would never let certain policies pass. And other groups, we know what their mission is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was within the first 100 days. We knew Trump mission.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if we had voted collectively not that way, we wouldn't be facing a lot of stuff we're facing today. And guess what? The people who voted for him are the most at hurt because yo, man, you traded on us. Or we're suffering too. We get what you're doing, but oh shoot, we're suffering as well. Oh, you thought it was just gonna be us. We're used to the struggle. You're not.
Now they're looking at us. Hey, black people, how we not out here on these streets?
No, I was gonna say that's good. Let's put a pin in it because I was reading into something, and the reason that's the case, if we know which group of people we're talking about that feel betrayed because of the way they vote. Mm-hmm. When you had to colonize, who were the top 3 colonizers, right? The British, the French,
and the Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah.
The British were like, nah, black is black, white is white. There was no mixing. It was just black and white, right? Mm. Then you had the French that had, mulattoes, upper class, maybe a mix here and there.
Bourgeoisie versus the proletariat, the French Revolution. That's how the French like to divide their stuff.
Then you had the Spaniards, the Spanish colonization that was like, all right, here's the deal. If a black man marries a white woman, then he's upper class. He's pretty much like a white man. Mm-hmm. But if like 2 mulattoes get together and they're poor, y'all might as well be slaves. But if 2 mulattoes get together and you're rich, then you're upper class and you maybe like a white woman. There was a lot of subcategories on how they had their classes, right? And so they had more challenges differentiating. Do we resonate with whites or do we resonate with not? So there's a confusion there that's still, they called it
isn't it colorism?
There's a word they call it mahulaire or something, where you marry up, right? Or you wash your race down. You white yourself. And so that's why it's like they might identify more with Caucasian community rather than Black community. And so they're confused.
Hispanics.
Yes.
That's why they. Okay, because I was one. They went out there and voted, but now the ICE is picking them up, and the guy literally said on the news, "I voted for Trump." Well, now you're being deported. But I voted for Trump. Well, now you're being deported.
They thought that in voting for Trump, you can check the record and see, hey, I voted for you, so then why would you deport me? When technically there's no record of who you voted for, which is unfortunate.
Well, you can't leverage who you vote for.
No, they
for
had
your
a whole
citizenship.
rally.
They did.
Latinos for Trump, or like Hispanics for Trump, or whatever it was.
Thinking that they will get protection in rallying and supporting.
They were desperate, though. Can you blame them?
Ooh.
They're desperate. They're trying to protect themselves because everybody could foresee what's to come. Haitians right now are in limbo. They're holding their breath, hoping that the judges can just hold on, and as Trump is dealing with the global events and repercussions of his war that he just chose, we're in this limbo. Yes. And so I have more sympathy or empathy, whatever, which one you ever choose for this community, because they could be very well confused.
They are very much so
kindness,
confused.
but
even the 7th generation American is confused by Trump with his day-to-day decisions. But I want to talk about scarcity for a little bit. Like, when you feel like your right to vote is about to be taken away, or your freedom is about to be taken away, or an immigrant is coming and taking your job, and you already struggling, so then you're operating in the mindset of scarcity, and you need someone to blame. You have to find a scapegoat. Germany did it with the Jews. They had to say the reason why our economy is so bad after World War II, right? Or is it World War I? I don't remember which one. Our economy is so terrible. It's because the Jews and their high interest rate. People tend to need to find someone to blame when they're struggling in life. And
that's what they did with the Hebrews, Egyptians, when the Hebrews.
Right now, we'll talk about Adam and Eve earlier. Like, you about to get cast out of the garden, you have to blame somebody. And we're still blaming the woman. So when you're operating in a place of scarcity, in a place of survival mode, if you caught our one episode about survival mode, it was so good. You're not being kind. You're not thinking about others. You're thinking about yourself and your family. Mm-hmm. Sometimes not even your kids. Because I know people who hide in their cars and eat food because they didn't get enough for their kids. So if you're struggling that bad, where you just thinking about yourself, like if you're in the apocalypse, like that's when your
survival
bad part of humanity comes out. And you're killing people and you're stealing cars just to survive. Or you might even leave your husband behind or your kids behind. So I want to bring this back again to women's suffrage. The white women, they were abolitionists fighting to end slavery. And then they were also fighting for their right. They realized they couldn't make any changes in politics because they didn't have any power. So then they started fighting for the right to vote, so that vote could be able to end slavery. But when, I don't know if it was strategic, they found out that the black man was going to have the right to vote first, then the evilness start to come out. So we can't look at the founding women, the white abolitionists, and look at them. They start calling black people Sambo, and they're so racist. They were just pushed in a corner, which no matter what color, what gender you are, when you're pushed in the corner, your claws come out. And then it's like, they get the right to vote before us. Mm-hmm.
After we fought for their freedom?
And then the nastiness comes out. If you're struggling right now, the gas prices is high, tariffs, you're just struggling. You're in a corner, and then your claws come out. And then deep down inside, you're happy when you see ICE taking the people because you feel like they're the reason why. They're the reason why you're struggling.
Because we're so ready to blame.
Yeah. So when survival mode is a bad place to be. Yeah. It's not that some people are just racist, survival mode or not. Yeah. But sometimes it's just you're desperate and you're afraid. And if we have people coming from Ohio, coming to Chester and watching our polls. Like, we run our polls. I've worked in many of the polls. We run our polls clean. No one's sneaking in ballots. But if they're coming here, it's the fear of my way of life is at stake. Things are changing.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to keep my traditions alive. And that's what I mean. Like, if you guys know anything about scarcity or survival mode or just all of this, and like why you try to suppress someone from being able to express themselves and to talk. You know, that's why I love this radio station so much, because it gives us that voice. And I love y'all being here and listening to us and having these difficult conversations.
And you hit it right on the head. The nail right on the head.
Yeah, all of our claws can come out at some point or another. But we have to realize that sometimes you have to choose the candidate that is best for Americans, as many Americans as possible, and not just your personal benefit.
Died. But there was some comments on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Here, you can take mine.
It was saying, I think
pass that back to me.
Cammy?
You gotta read Sharina. Sharina, if you're still there, she did say something. We did jump off the topic.
Yeah. So somebody said, if a husband is too tired or denies that form of intimacy, is that a red flag? And if so, does that make it this one-sided?
One more time.
If a husband is too tired or denies that form of intimacy, is that a red flag? And if so, does that make this one-sided?
Well, how many times is that happening? How many times is he
how
denying?
many times.
Yeah, I mean, if and that's where you're my partner, you're my best friend, right? If your best friend say, I don't feel like going to this party tonight because I'm tired, you're not gonna, like, you know. So your husband is should be your best friend, and if the wife say I'm tired or the husband say I'm tired, then you know I gotta respect that and put my needs aside.
And if it's a consistent thing, get blood work done, guys. Get genetic testing. Figure out if there's something more going on.
A lot of times it's a deficiency.
When it becomes like I'm too tired and you feeling neglected in your relationship and ignored, and you feel him being distant, then that's a different conversation altogether. Is he getting it from somewhere else? You know, but in a healthy relationship, you know he worked 16 hours, or you know you with him, he's here with you, you know everything is copacetic, then no, it's not a red flag. It's being human.
Yeah, it depends if it's a combination of other things.
Yeah.
And I would say, hey babe, like, come on, let me help you get a little more tired.
So I agree. So you know what's funny?
Let me put you to bed. Let me put you to bed.
Hold
baby.
on. We're so funny. We're so quick to say if the woman's tired, then do some foreplay and get her ready. And I think we kind of missed that. I think that when it comes to the men,
They need that too.
yeah, maybe he needs a little bit of sloppy toppy to get him started.
And most men like that.
I'm
I
just
don't know
saying.
one that denies that.
Men need foreplay too, ladies.
Please, I don't know what sloppy toppy. Can you describe this activity for me?
I'm not describing.
Fellatio.
It's either you know or you don't know.
Fellatio.
I'm not describing.
Fellatio.
There's a clean fellatio. What's the sloppy version?
It involves saliva.
Are you spitting? Are you
Sloppy toppy's a
Wow, Dodo. Wow, Dodo.
Please educate me.
We are all married women on
explicit.
this podcast.
If you have children, put them to bed. It's that hour. Bedtime, children. Is that what sloppy
Definitely not a
toppy?
conversation for
That's sloppy
children.
toppy.
You said it.
Not in
just
front of
saying.
these black mics, though.
Oh.
I'm just saying that sometimes your husband may need some encouragement, just like we need encouragement.
Yeah. So, so
Sharina.
is that Sharina who asked that question? Yes. So no, it's not a red flag, but we have to take everything into perspective in whatever scenario is going around that situation.
Yeah.
But if everything is healthy, happy relationship, if my baby's tired, he's tired. You know what I'm saying?
Like if he's hiding his phone and he's tired, you know, and the bill is coming back that you went out for dinner for two, that the combination is just not
adding up.
Yeah.
And that's a big
situation.
waving red flag.
That's a Betsy Ross red flag. But if
I love it.
if he's not hiding his phone and you know where he's at and the communication is great, maybe he's working too much. And I know sometimes we all working a lot where the intimacy is struggling. So for me, it's just like trying hard not to spend as much money, save so then we don't have to go and get that third job.
Yeah,
you know, we can go out on more dates and sometimes you have to get out of the house. Watch our Valentine's Day episode. We really talk
and you
more
know
about
another
that.
thing is sometimes if he's tired, you know, rub his feet. Give him a back massage, you know. They need that too. They need some of that tender loving too.
Or maybe you could have an intercourse or like interaction where he's not doing as much. You know, you could, satisfy him.
You might
but
be on
he's-
top. You gotta do the
Yeah,
work.
or like
Starfish.
he's just laying there. Yeah.
Maybe he,
Or you just
Or can you stay on top for more
doing
than
something
5
more-
seconds?
Yo, let me tell you.
say something about that.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
It's a workout and a half.
It
You be
is.
like, I get it, honey.
So the,
Oh, keep going.
so the thing is, like, I was gonna say about the whole tired thing earlier. I feel like, to me, to maintain that I'm a match your energy, I gotta be more physically fit. Like, I really have to do the work to make sure my knees are
Go on the treadmill on your knees. Like squat on the treadmill and just start running.
okay. I'm
In
sure
high heels, so then you're working your calves and your thighs.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah, but our health is.
Speaking of which, that sweat cycle in Philly, I've been going there, and that's the new
Go
spot.
ahead, shout them out. Address.
Sweat cycle in Philly is
have
the
the
new
Afro
spot.
beats
Check out their
music,
they have themed nights. It's a cycle. You have your instructor, you have the whole class, there's music, and since I've been doing it, my hips and my body, I don't hear as many creaks and cracks. I feel very like loose. My energy is a little more up, and it makes me want to do other activities like, ooh, what am I gonna do tomorrow or like next week? Maybe I'll go rollerblading or like dancing. Just kind of helps me want to keep moving. So check out Sweat Cycle. I'm gonna see if I could like put in a comment or something.
I think you hit a very point about health. If you're not feeling the energy and stuff, maybe it like, because you said get the blood work done, and I know as Black people we are oftentimes B12 deficient, vitamin D deficient, especially around the winter time. Our Black skin needs sun. It energizes us and give us that vitamin D and what we need, and give us our immune system and all those good things. So if you are male or female and you're feeling like I don't feel like it, go to the gym. Sometimes you gotta sweat and so get like check yourself. You know.
And remember when we were talking about the self-love, and I was telling you guys, going to the gym is my self-love. You can get your hair done, massage. What was yours?
Oh, being disciplined.
Being disciplined.
within
What was yours?
yourself.
Mine was my nails, but now it's changed to jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
so being
I'm getting
active.
into jiu-jitsu,
And let me
yeah.
tell you, the gym, so I got a trainer. Shout out to Jason. And it helped me on top. I was like, yo, this is
How many minutes
all
now?
right.
He done fell asleep.
But he just fell asleep. He was like,
Eyes rolled back.
nah, just,
Eyes rolled back.
yeah.
Huh?
But no, not eyes will back.
Where's the tea? Tea.
But
Sipping tea.
if you know my
He's
husband,
about to
Rooted
get
in
your
real.
last name.
Rooted in real, y'all. Rooted in real.
you mean his
Rooted
last
in
name.
real, y'all.
His last name.
Yeah, no, he's about to get your last name.
After we
But
get off,
it's good to be in shape. Not only
Yes,
that, the Bible says our body is a temple. So being healthy is
Part of our
part of keeping our temple.
and serving
And showing up for our husband, showing up for our children, showing up for ourselves, so we're not out of breath, we're not fog mind, having all that. So it benefits everybody.
Yeah.
by the way, I've recently found no kids on this call, and I am a married woman. So
So
your leg,
it's ordained.
If you tuck your heel, in the back, okay. No, so about the exercise, but but there's also different techniques. Let's say you not as exercised out. There is a technique that actually helps support and make it comfortable. I'll tell y'all what I figured out.
Flat foot.
No. If he... Never mind. You guys...
You want to post
After
the link
the
later?
call. I'm going
let's
to describe it to you. After
Let's
the
have a
after
one
this.
episode
Jamar
for this
said
and
no
give
male
like a whole warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found...
No male
there's a-
trainers.
there's a-
He's a
That's what I
he's
was
a baby
thinking.
though. I mean, yeah, but no, Jamar.
Okay, so this is when I stopped having a male trainer. When it's solo, and
Solo,
when
where you at? Solo, you in the gym?
In his basement.
some
home
gyms are just you end up
Or like
being
take you a different room or something.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
and like you squatting and stuff, and you worrying about what they're looking at. I'd rather not.
Okay.
But if we're in a group or if we're like one-on-one, but there's other people nearby.
Well,
then
guess
okay,
what? Woodley
but-
set me up with the trainer, so it's a go.
I'm not judging you. I'm
No,
just saying.
I'm just commenting to Jamar with his no male trainer. Woodley set me up with the trainer. He made the appointment and everything, so it's a go.
Okay. So in conclusion, we're gonna wrap up with our final thought.
Yes. Oh, there's one more thing.
Go ahead, go
Rachel Gallo.
Hey, Rachel.
I love listening to everyone's perspective. It really challenges your mind and makes you think about your values and beliefs. Shout out, hey Rachel, boo.
Hey, girl. Hey.
That's my best friend, y'all, since 7th grade. That's my sister right there. That's the other sister. We got a couple other sisters we got to bring on, but
Yeah, actually, speaking of guests, we have some guests that are interested on coming, or we would
Let's
love
make a
to.
list.
We would love to have on our show. So keep a lookout for a special guest.
yeah, we are gonna do a Valentine's part 2 where we talk. Should I share what some of our upcoming topics are? Sure. Okay, so we are gonna be talking about. Today we talked about sex if you don't feel like it or feel disconnected emotionally from a partner. That was today. Some of the other ones coming up is guiding your children from romantic advances, or just helping them respond towards romantic advances from the same sex. What do we identify as part 2? And pursuing abstinence, dating, and waiting with a special guest. So those are some of the topics coming up.
Ooh, I can't wait for you guys to meet that guest.
Hey, Jasmine, my other best friend, y'all.
Don't forget about me. You was hiding in the numbers. You didn't say nothing. Hey, Jasmine.
So yeah,
Thank you for joining us.
Any final statements specifically to Women's History Month and the right to vote and the right to have a voice and the right to, if you divorce, you can see your children, because once upon a time in this country that was not so.
So if you
and
divorce
you lost
your
your property
husband?
when you got married, you changed your last name and your property became his. And we have these rights now because women went out and voted. Their homes were burned down. Some were exiled, but they went out anyway.
I'm in prison.
Abused
beaten,
and
killed,
yes, and
killed,
unfortunately their legacy was tarnished because of some of the racist statements that they made, but they still started something. And when you start in a movement, there's going to be drama, there's going to be scandals, but we march forward. And I want to take back my statement from last 2 weeks ago. If you watched it, I said that I would not be marching. There was actually women that were anti-suffrage because I'm more traditional, we shouldn't be in the workplace because then who's taking care of the kids? Like, it's a thing. But now, which is why I don't like talking about topics that I don't do my research on, because I'm just talking off my emotions. But now realizing what women did to fight for women in the U.S. and around the world, I take back that statement. Not only would I be marching, I will be washing your clothes as you go into Congress and helping bills to get passed. I'll be watching your kids. I'll be knocking on doors. I absolutely would and will march for women who want equal wages. Like, if you choose to be in the workplace, that might not be a policy that's important for me, but it's for other women. And again, we said over and over, sometimes it's not about how it benefits you in particular. Yes. And I wish we could have touched on trans women, but maybe in another episode, because now it's kind of like they have, women have their rights, men have their rights. What about the men who become women or the women who become men? What kind of rights are there missing?
You can't be double dipping.
But
trans women.
I'm sorry. Or is that a brand new category in and of itself? But we're gonna touch on that in the future because
I'm gonna miss that episode.
That's something new that women are marching for. And again, if we could have the voice to speak on this.
So imagine us fighting for our representation in the Olympics, in everything. And here comes a trans woman, right? A trans woman who has the physical characteristic and strength and bone density and height of a man coming into the women's league and just dominating.
Well, when you're taking the pills, it changes so much about your.
But this is so much.
But
it's got to be another episode.
There's so much to be another episode.
Right, there's so much to be said around this.
So if you were back then, you can understand how someone who can't relate won't march for you.
But guess what? They should create their own league.
So
the trans league.
Because you can't undo what God has made you to be. Right. But I'm going to skip the episode.
Well, so what about the hermaphrodites?
What about Truth would say or I.W. Wells would say? Because they actually were okay with black men going through the door first to vote. Black women. Yeah. They were okay with men getting their right to vote first. They were campaigning for everything. And when you look at Black Lives Matter movement, which was mostly fine by black women.
They were marching for truth.
A lot of black women, they say we in everybody business campaigning or not on it for everybody door but ourselves. But that's what we've been doing. So even though trans may not matter to you, it may not be an issue for you. Maybe we need to look into it a little bit more.
I see a movement of black women. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I see a movement of black women saying nope. We're staying home, y'all, and then it's just like spread.
We're not fighting no more.
Nope, we're not marching. No,
and that's what I said. That's what I said last week. But
they're tired.
Yes, it is tiring.
I am tired.
But when you get tired, they start busing themselves from other states to come and do the job for you. They'll knock on the door. So we just have to keep it up and train our kids.
And that's what they're trying to make. They're trying to make us tired.
Yeah.
They want us to be tired. They want us to quit.
Yeah, so we're tired right now. And while our husbands are helping us and taking care of our kids, we're here doing this podcast, sharing this information with you.
Thank you, husbands.
Thank you, husbands.
Thank you, future husband.
But thank you, JP, for giving us this microphone to talk on these issues. And we are tired. Everybody's tired. Y'all tired watching us. We got to go to work in the morning. But it's important because while we're tired, they're strategizing.
And speaking of JP and CMP Radio, we do want to spotlight some other podcasts for you to check out. It's not just us. We have today's spotlight. We have Revolutionary Minds, Saturday at 7 p.m. We have Sisters on Air, which is to be announced, but, throwing it out there. We have the Golden Age podcast every other Sunday at 2 p.m. And I'll be sharing those podcasts with you as we kind of go live.
Uncut. Don't forget.
We spotlight them last week.
Oh, okay.
Last time. So I want to.
My bad. I don't want to step on your
I'll
toes.
spotlight 3 every time, and I'll cycle through the same ones eventually.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yes, we love you guys. Thank you for sticking in there with us.
Yes.
Through this late episode.
Yeah.
And we are
Rooted in Real.
Delva Diaries.
Next time we're gonna have y'all say that.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Good night.
Good night.
I know y'all saw me yawning. I'm tired. I'm sleepy too. Good night.